Hello, everybody. This is Jenna in the Integrated Solutions Department. Let's go ahead and dive in how to set up your 2630 display for planting. I have pulled up here the 2630 display simulator with a Seedstar 3 planner. So we'll go ahead and take a look at some of the basic features for setup here. So this is kind of from your main home screen. That's kind of a default when you open it up. So we're going to go to our menu button down here, and then we're going to go ahead and go through the green star setup. So if you come in here, you may have to change the tab depending on what you've poked around at all, but you want to go to our setup tab. And then we're going to go ahead and through and just check anything you might be using, and we'll walk through that setup. These are the most common ones, and then you're just going to hit accept down at the bottom. This is a setup wizard, if you will. So we'll go through, pick your client farm field, make sure you change your task to planting or your documentation, change your crop season if you need to. And then if you have exterior boundaries loaded into your display for your field, you can use Field Locator, and that'll send you reminders to update your documentation data when you come in and out of those different fields. If not, you can go ahead and turn that off. Then you'll go to the next page. This will be your equipment page. So this is all of your tractor offsets. So make sure you go ahead and pick whatever machine you have, check your connection types, and then check your offsets. So these will be important for your documentation as well as section control and auto track. So make sure that these are correct for your tractor. Depending on what tractor, make sure you've got the non-steering axle location selected. And then if you need to actually toggle your offset side to side on the machine, you can push this button and you can see this little A changes direction based on that offset. So if you're having pass-to-pass issues, that's how to correct that. Make sure all that's good. Your recording source should say auto if you've got plugged into your ISO correctly. Otherwise, if you're using manual documentation, you'll have some options there, but auto is usually what we like to see in there. Go to your third page. This will be your planner setup and offsets. So you want to make sure that you've got your right name selected. Again, check those offsets. Gives directions here for exactly what to measure, what each of these numbers should be. Check those out. Again, if you need to toggle directions, you can do that with this little refresh looking button up here at the top. And then make sure your physical widths are correct down here at the bottom as well. Go to the next page. This will be your section control page. So if you want to turn your master section control on or off, you can do that here, but you can see it's currently on for operation 1, planting and seeding. And then this is also where you can adjust your overlap settings. So this is up to you whether you want to minimize skip, minimize overlap, or use a % overlap as well. So you can choose those for your exterior boundaries, interior boundaries, as well as any previous coverage. So you can choose those options. Click on the question mark down here. It actually gives you information about what each of those means. Go ahead and accept that. This is also where you can adjust your turn on, turn off settings. So if you need to adjust those times at all, if your measurements are dead on and you're still having issues with your section control, that's where you can adjust those mechanical delay settings. Then we'll go on to the next page. This is your documentation setup. So make sure your operation is correct. Go in and choose your seed type, whatever that may be. Go ahead and make sure you add that variety in there as well. And you can see that all the way across the planner. If for whatever reason you had different varieties, you can assign those to the rows here as well. This is where also you can load in your prescriptions. So make sure you choose that if you need to. And you can go to the next page. This is your basic guidance setup. So if you're going to have a tracking mode on, you can change that to straight track. If you have any implement guidance, you can do that. Also change your auto track advanced settings or general settings if you need to. Go to the next screen. This is your shifts. We usually like to turn on small shifts, but that's totally up to you. This is for your guidance shifts. Your next page will be if you need to record any boundaries. If not, you can just go ahead and skip that page. And then this will give you kind of a guidance overview page. So if you needed to go in, go ahead and set anything up that way, you could. Then you're going to hit accept. It's going to give you this message that says your setup is complete. So if you completed everything In terms of your Green Star stuff, your system is fully configured and ready to run, or you can go back and change anything that you need to. We're going to go ahead and accept that change. So now let's talk about some run pages. In this case, we have 2 run pages currently set up. You can toggle between those using the home button down here at the bottom. But say you wanted to come up with a different page, you can actually go up here to Layout Manager. And then on the right-hand side, you will see all of the different options you have for layouts of those home pages. So what you want to do is go through, see which ones are already included in your home collection. That's this check mark up here. So say we want to add another page. We're going to choose that, and then let's just pick this one as an example. You can go in and choose what it is you want to see on each of these different areas. And now you can see I have a 3rd page added into my home that I can toggle through here at the bottom. In terms of getting to your planner settings, SeedStar 3, 2630, SeedStar 2, SeedStar XP, all work the same. You're going to go into your planner menu here, and then you will have kind of a main planner run page, if you will. And then you can go into your seed setup. Very important here, you can use different crops and set those up. The other thing is choosing your seed disk down here and then actually setting your rates. So if you have other rates you want to turn on, you can just come in here, click on whatever rate, put your info in there, tell you when you want to put the alarms for that seed rate, and then save that. And make sure you put the check in the box to turn it on if you are going to use additional rates. And in terms of actual planner setup, you can go over here to your actual planner frame. You can see that's your actual frame setup, as well as sensor setup and calibrations. Your drive in terms of mapping groups, as well as your row control sections would be set up here as well. And that's about it in terms of the planner setup. That's the crash course on how to set up your 2630 and SeedStar 3 planner. If you have any additional questions, please reach out to your IS consultant. They should be sitting around. We can pull up the display simulator and answer any other questions you might have. Thanks for watching.